YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is a video that is going to be on both YouTube and exclusively on the website. I'm putting it up on YouTube because I feel like people need to see this, and I'm sick and tired of having to deal with the censorship. I'm sick and tired, like all of you are, of being told what we can and what we can't listen to. And I'm really sick and tired of seeing COINTELPRO government agents pretending to be truthers who are gaslighting their audience into exactly what the government wants to gaslight them into. They think that they're free and they're not free. They're being trapped and tricked by these gatekeepers of truth. And this video is going to get a strike. I can almost guarantee it, because I'm touching on a topic you're not allowed to talk about. We're in a world now where we actually could bring up topics, and they're exclusively topics that you can't discuss because the government says so. This one specifically about the hook at Sandy is one that you're not allowed to talk about because it's really, really easy for people like us to debunk. So I'm going to let you know now that this video is only staying up for a short period of time. But I need everyone here to subscribe to a brand new channel called Wake Up Call, because I'm going to build that out and I'm going to put videos like this up over on that channel. Everyone out there who listens to my content, understand this. They don't want me here. They don't want me to speak, which makes me want to be here more and need to be here more, because we can't have the controlled truth on this platform. It reaches too many people. So work with me and subscribe to my other channel. It's brand new as of today, March 15th, 2024. Wake Up Call. Go over there, subscribe now. Not later, now. The website at callforanuprising.com is another way to get videos like this completely uncensored. It is exclusive content of mine that is uploaded over there, as well as my archive videos of thousands of videos that YouTube has terminated from 20 to 50 to 75 channels that I've had over the last 4 to 5 years. Specifically, over the last couple of months, I've had over 15 channels deleted. Okay, so for anyone out there that's wondering if I'm COINTELPRO, this is the thing that they want most, is silenced truth. Okay, when other people out there pretend to be silenced, like Alex Jones, etc., but they're being mentioned on the mainstream media, all that does, just like they do with Trump, is help them gain more followers. Same with Tucker Carlson. When they completely try to remove your voice, not only does it not help you gain followers, it's pretty much like removing you off the face of the earth. And that's what I've been going through. So you can get my content on callforanuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month, 10 cents a day. Everybody who's over there will tell you that this website is worth $3 for a month's worth of content. The forum itself is worth it, but you also get my exclusive videos, which I will try to put up here on YouTube if I'm allowed. So definitely give the website a try. You could have a 1-year membership. You could have a 1-month membership. You could sign up with PayPal. There's lots of different payment options. I, again, have unlimited bandwidth over there, and there's no trolling, there's no advertising. It's just straight up truth. So check it out today, but now join a wake-up call. Let's get into this video. You may have heard that suddenly they're bringing up the hook at Sandy again in the mainstream media. Aaron Rodgers, specifically, who I've exposed as a government asset in the past, continues to get mentioned with all of these conspiracies, right? From the magic potion to Q to the hook at Sandy, right? And suddenly he's actually being potentially nominated to be our vice president of the United States of America. This is all done by design, okay? These are things that they want. Look at this continual pattern here when it comes to the hook at Sandy. Alex Jones, which I just did a video on the website, so if you're over there, I'm sure you saw it, but if you're going to join the website, definitely watch it. Okay, about Alex Jones. He's the ultimate COINTELPRO agent. Alex Jones, who goes into Bohemian Grove, somehow lives to talk about it, right? Would never happen in a million years. You would be 6 feet under. You would never be able to produce a documentary on what really goes on inside Bohemian Grove, unless, of course, they were trying to get a gatekeeper of truth in place so that they could give people some truth, which is what Jones does, but then lead people right into the government trap, which is the left-right paradigm, right? Jones, of course, is a poster boy now for conspiracy. So when people hear about me, even though at one point in time I had over 500,000 subscribers, 300, 100, I've had millions and millions of subscribers, and I've had billions of views, okay? What they want is for people who discover people like me to just go, oh, it's an Alex Jones wannabe. Oh, they sound like Alex Jones. Well, we're not speaking the same things as Jones. We get lumped into a basket, and that's going to be something that's deliberately done for what comes eventually here with laws and rules for people like me and you. That's what Q is here for, which the government set up. That's what Jones is here for. That's what Tucker's here for. That's what Russell Brand is here for. So they brought up the hook at Sandy. And of course, they're saying that Aaron Rodgers went out and he quietly had conversations with people about not believing in the hook at Sandy, right? Now, no, we don't know where these conversations come from, of course, but this is a behavioral control issue. They're bringing this up because they want to bring up the notion of you questioning stories like this one, which specifically was one of the stories that the government was not able to contain because the production quality was so poorly executed on behalf of the CIA. That one and Pizzagate are the two big ones, because when those two events happened, the government had to come in and create psyops like Q, like the event that happened at Comet Ping Pong, which I'll get into later because I'm going to play for you a clip from Jimmy Kimmel, and I want you to listen to this stuff. This is about behavioral control. If these people, like Aaron Rodgers, like Alex Jones, if they were actually for truth, they would have taken the Alex Jones trial as an opportunity to bring attention to the evidence that was it was just the amount of evidence for the hook at Sandy is so through the roof. It's insane, right? In other words, if I was sued and they were like, this guy is saying that this isn't real, and I had a chance to go to court, I would sit there and go, look, I'll apologize if I'm wrong. You could fine me if just the notion that you're allowed to be fined for questioning the news is exactly what we've all warned about with the communist takeover, which is what we have, which I'll get into again with the blacklist in Hollywood and Jimmy Kimmel. But if you were somebody like me and you got taken to court and all those parents were there, you would ask for evidence. There was never any evidence produced in this situation, in this case. Just like most of these events that are government created, the shooters die, and then you look at all the evidence surrounding it, like the parents involved and how they all have IMDb pages, how even David Wheeler, this is what I would bring up right in court. I'd say, David Wheeler was showing up on TV. David Wheeler was talking about how his son was, a victim there. And this is what's going to get me a strike, of course, right? David Wheeler, if you don't know, he showed up at the hook. He's somebody who has an IMDb page, right? So if you're looking at it, you're going, well, what's the big deal? So what? Maybe he was an actor at the time and this happened to his kid. Oh, yeah. David Wheeler was caught on camera as part of the FBI SWAT team and then played a dual role of being a father of one of the children at this supposed event. Okay, so that's what we were all exposing. That's what we've all been talking about. The government realized that that was a little bit much for them to contain. So they brought about major censorship. And then they started doing what is really just psychological operations on the masses, where they're at a point where they go, oh, anybody who questions the hook at Sandy is really just disgusting. You're a disgusting human being. Why are you a disgusting human being? We see these true crime events happen all the time, right? And everybody sits there and they want to talk about evidence. They have YouTube channels like, oh, the father did this, and maybe the father was over there having an affair, and maybe they killed their own kid. Is that disgusting to people? No, it's not. People seem to think that's normal. They're the most popular channels now on YouTube other than gaming channels. And they all sit there and they digest other people's family situations that happen, other people's family tragedies. They're allowed to do that. Right? They're allowed to sit there and say, this father may have killed his wife. We don't know yet, but look, he has motive here because maybe he was dating someone on the side and maybe he decided to kill his kid and his wife. Oh, and everybody just nods and they go back and forth. But when it comes to this story, the government has made it so you can't question it. And they've brainwashed people into going, oh my gosh, you're disgusting. How could you question it? How could we question it? Well, let's start with David Wheeler, shall we? Let's start with a guy who's got an IMDb page, who's an actor, who was literally playing the role on CNN, on national television, in court, crying about his child, and then was also seen on live television dressed up as a SWAT team member. Nobody can deny. This isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, they might look alike. That's the same exact person, literally the same mole, the same face, who's playing dual roles at an event. Okay? So that's what all of us have been asking. Hey, if Alex Jones is going to trial, why not bring attention to this so that we don't look like crazy people? So that people go, oh, wait a minute, these guys are making sense, right? Is it such a disgusting thought that the government would create fake events? I mean, liberals don't trust the conservative government. Conservatives don't trust the liberal government. So why is it such a conspiracy that the government would make up events, huh? Make up events. Like, that's disgusting. Why is it disgusting? To think that there's nobody dead? To think that the government planned and stages all these events so that they can have more rights over you? It makes perfect sense. Study history. Study Rome. Study the history of tyrannical governments. Study Stalin. Study Hitler. Whoever you want. With the real truths of who these people were, by the way, which, another thing you can't talk about here, but I can talk about on the website. Study those things and then say to me, why would it be so out of the realm of possibility for a government who has shown no loyalty to its civilians, who has pretty much admitted that they're rogue, who doesn't care about gays, doesn't care about straights, doesn't care about blacks, doesn't care about whites, but as long as you stay divided, you'll never realize that they're working you all, right? So if Jones wasn't an agent, these are things he would have brought attention to in court and said, look, this is why I didn't believe it. And people would have said, oh, wait a minute, Jones is actually, right, this guy is in Dual World. Okay, well, explain it to us then. You're not allowed to explain it. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're automatically silenced. And now they're shaming people still saying it's a disgusting thought. I'm going to play for you the clip from Jimmy Kimmel. And listen to this, okay? How disgusting it is, and everybody out there applauds, and everybody out there makes sounds about, oh my gosh, you can and cannot question what they tell you you can and cannot question. You can question a crime that happens in someone's home, perfectly fine, right? Oh, a mass murder, oh, you could question that all you want. But if you question this event, where there's no trial, where no evidence is presented, you're a scumbag if you don't just take what we tell you is true. That's what they're brainwashing you into. And this is the future of news. Don't you dare question the news. So here's Jimmy Kimmel, one of the biggest scumbags to ever walk. Jimmy Kimmel is not funny like most of these people. He's a plant. He's a communist. Don't you understand that these are communists? You ever hear the Hollywood blacklist? I'll talk about it after the clip. That's what they are. They're in-place agents, okay? Listen to this clip about how they shame people who are questioning the news, because that's the point of it. And Aaron Rodgers is playing a role like Alex Jones, like all these agents are, of people who are going to eventually lead to more and more people not listening to people like us, and of course being gatekeepers of truth, and then leading you astray in the left-right paradigm, because that's the common enemy here. You stay in the left-right trap, the government wins, okay? There's no uprising, there's no upheaval, there's no revolution if you stay in the left-right paradigm. You're getting led by fake revolutionaries who are government plants. Listen to this stuff he says, and then listen how he goes into the Bible. Of course he does. He mocks the Bible. He mocks the number 8 in the Bible, a new order, a new beginning, and of course, he even brings up pedo pizza. Why not? Because the two biggest things that the government fears is that you figure out the hook at Sandy, even though there's more events than that are like the hook at Sandy. And, of course, Pizzagate, which again had another IMDb actor involved. Listen to this clip. It's unreal. And watch the zombie audience applaud at the end like the suckers that they are.
Donald Trump isn't the only dangerous lunatic running for president. I mentioned last night that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has reportedly whittled his list of running mates down to a handful of finalists, including professional quarterback / conspiracy theorist Aaron Rodgers. Pamela Brown of CNN is reporting that Rodgers confronted her personally after the school shooting at Sandy Hook, and he was complaining that the mainstream media was covering up a false flag operation, which is a disgusting thought to share, and a thought that at least one other person heard him share too.
CNN has also spoken with another person, one who would like to remain anonymous in order to avoid harassment, who had a very similar encounter with Aaron Rodgers, saying that Rodgers claimed that, quote, Sandy Hook never happened. Quote, all those children never existed. They were all actors, unquote. When asked about the grieving parents, many of whom I've met, and they and their grief is real, the source recalled that Aaron Rodgers said, quote, they're all making it up. They're all actors, unquote.
Do you miss the old days when the conspiracy theorists were just guys who wanted to have sex with Bigfoot and leave it at that? I mean, this guy, he knows all the secrets. He's got all the answers. Who knew the smartest man in the world would have a man bun? It's miraculous. So Aaroon took to Twitter today to post this non-denial denial. He wrote, as I'm on the record saying in the past, what happened at Sandy Hook was an absolute tragedy. Have never been of the opinion that the events did not take place. Notice he never says he didn't say it to somebody. And I hate to do this because I'm not the conspiracy type, but I've had my own issues with Aaron Rodgers. And I've spent the last couple of months looking into some of this. And I think it's time to share something with the world. And it's going to shock you, so buckle in. The truth is what the deep state, which is based in Green Bay, Wisconsin, by the way, deep state headquarters is a factory in Hobart that makes all the cheese for the pedophile pizza places. So that's another story for another night. Anyway, what the deep state won't tell you is that Aaron Rodgers never played football. He's not a football player. He faked his entire career. In fact, first time he ever played in an NFL game was last year, the week before his first game with the Jets. Aaron's body double, the guy who played every single game for him before this, died of COVID, and they had nobody dumb-looking enough to fill in. So they had to bring in the real Aaron Rodgers, and he had to go in and fake an injury on the third play of opening day. That's why he only threw one pass. And you don't have to believe me on this. Do your own research. And when you do, maybe you'll notice that the Bible says the number 8 represents a new beginning, a new order, and man's true born-again event when he's resurrected from the dead into eternal life. And guess what number Aaron Rodgers chose to wear when he played for the Jets? Anyone? Anyone? You know?
8?
8, that's right. Number 8. Whoa, wow. That story, by the way, is more believable than what Aaron Rodgers told people happened at Sandy Hook. Good going.
This right here is the ultimate problem in our society, that we're supposed to accept everything in the news as truth. Meanwhile, people who are Democrats look at Fox News and they say it's fake news and everything on there is fake. And people who are conservative look at the mainstream news and say everything in CNN is fake. But then they believe other things that come out in the news, right? Like stuff, the footage from war and all this stuff. They don't realize the entire thing is scripted and fake. And they don't want you to question any of it because it's used as a herding tactic. Right? Jimmy Kimmel, member of the Communist Party. Everyone in Hollywood is a communist. If you didn't hear about the Hollywood blacklist, just for an FYI, okay, there was an infiltration in Hollywood so they could put propaganda films to turn people into communists. They were stopped from doing so. Guess what? They re-infiltrated. They continued to do it over a period of time while people in America were becoming prosperous. People working at grocery stores suddenly were able to buy homes. There was a big boom in America, and everyone was distracted by little toys and little gifts and doing all these things while the government was being taken over by communists. Now it's fully taken over. The media is all communists. And you might hear the word communist and roll your eyes and go, I don't even know what that means. It's woke, okay? The right wing wants you to think that woke is just some new movement of psychopaths. It's communist. And if you realize it and Democrats realize what communists are, they would step up and stop it from spreading. Because nobody wants their private property taken away and given to the government where you could share and people could share their homes and share their fridge and share their wives and share their kids with these psychopaths, period. This is communism, and these people are communists, all of them in Hollywood, all the actors. That's why they all have the same ideologies, okay? So one of the things you heard him say in this clip was he mentioned pedo pizza, right? Another thing, they've brainwashed and trained people into hearing anything about pizza because of the pizzeria there into being some type of crazy nut job thing because they know that it sounds like a crazy notion. But if you actually look at all the stuff that was posted on Instagram, which is all my website at callforanuprising.com, where you can see all the videos that I did that were removed, that got me thrown off YouTube many times over, you'll see what? You'll see the actual Instagram posts of the owner of the place and all of the people involved, like Obama, pictures in the White House after hours, that they didn't expect you to find. Okay? Just like Sandy Hook, because the algorithm could read the words connected. Just like that. They didn't expect you to realize that there was dual actors in place. They didn't expect you to realize the duping delight of Gene Rosen and the duping delight of the father at the hook at Sandy. They didn't expect you to see it. So the fact that you saw it scared them. Scared them so much that they had to go faster with this movement that they have in place, Agenda 2030, and even move it up to 2025. Where there's going to be laws in place that if you question the news, you can go to jail. And those will be separate videos I cover on the website about what's going on in the UK. So, Pizzagate, Edgar Madison Welch. What a coincidence. Another guy with an IMDb page, right? Oh, man. I mean, another thing that Alex Jones came out and publicly apologized for, right? Alex Jones apologized for the hook at Sandy. Alex Jones apologized for the Pizzagate thing, right? Gatekeeping his audience. That's what it's called. That's what COINTELPRO is. Infiltrate movements and then lead people in the wrong direction while keeping truth and giving you little pieces of truth. That's what's hardest for people to realize. They're like, when he says stuff that you say, oh, well, if Alex Jones didn't talk any truth, why would you listen to him? How is he supposed to sucker you in? If he was sitting there talking about how men should castrate themselves, would people out there like me and you listen? No, they wouldn't. So they give you a little bit of truth, but then they keep you trapped. And the common denominator is the left-right paradigm, right? And the common denominator with Jones is that instead of coming out with the large audience that he has, and then every day he's mentioned on national news, right? Which tells you that he's not suppressed. Because it gains more, the same thing with Trump. They know that it'll gain more support for these people. What they would really do with Jones, if he was really giving out truth and wasn't a government operative, is what they do to me. They don't even let me create a channel. I can't even have a channel. You might say, well, you have this one. There's nothing on it. There's nothing on it. It's hidden. And the second they see this, it's going to get a strike. That's why I'm telling you to go over to Wake Up Call. I keep trying to get truth out there on this platform to you. Okay? Jones apologized for Pizzagate. Why? Why wouldn't you just stick to your guns? Why wouldn't you say, well, I saw some of the stuff that this guy posted. It's on his Instagram account. Can he answer questions? Because if your neighbor was posting pictures of children with slices of pizza over their crotch at 2 years old, holding money up over the camera, as if they were saying they were prostituting him, I think that people out there would call the police on their neighbor. So if somebody was doing that who had connections to Obama, connections to all these rich, famous people, wouldn't you say, hey, we would like to speak to this person. We'd like real answers. But what did they do in the media? They just go, oh my gosh, people made this stuff up. James Alefantis went on the news. James Alefantis said stuff like, hey, I don't know why people are targeting me. They think something with Hillary Clinton. Nothing was ever brought up about his post. Because if everybody saw his post, they'd say, wait a minute. I've seen true crimes before. There's a little bit of evidence here that's very bizarre. This guy should have to answer questions about it. Now I see why people were bringing this whole notion of a pizzeria up that this guy owns potentially being a ring, because he's got all these pictures up of kids with pizza slices over their crotch. And they're 2 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, right? You see? Do you understand? They don't bring attention to the evidence. They just go, they yell and they scream, and then they go, I don't know. Alex Jones goes, I'm sorry. I just thought maybe it was something because Hillary Clinton. And then they go, it's all about politics. It's not about truth. But if all the citizens realize it's not about politics, that's fake. It's about evidence. It's about having a guy playing dual roles at the Hook at Sandy, duping delight left and right. A pop-up town that just came out of nowhere is sitting there, and every day now, I'm sure all of you get ads on here for the Sandy Hook Promise, right? How many ads do you get? And what are the parents concerned about? Guns. Nothing else, right? I wouldn't be able to live if I had a child and the child was killed. I don't even know what it's like to have a child. But I can't even imagine, because I've had pets, and it's pretty tough dealing with their deaths. Imagine losing a child. I don't think I'd be popping up caring about gun control. I think I'd be living my days off missing my child mourning. But you might say, oh, well, maybe they want to. Oh, I don't think so. Okay? I don't think so. It's very suspicious. And even if you want to take that out of account, explain to me the reactions of these parents on the day that this event happened, and tell me where the evidence is. Tell me where all these people just popped up and they all left. None of them are in the town anymore. Oh, they couldn't stand to see it. They demolished all the evidence. They demolished the school just like they do everywhere else. And I'm saying too much now. I'm saying too much on YouTube because I don't really care at this point. Nobody even subs to the backup channel, so I don't even know if anyone wants my truth anymore. I know the people on the website do. But understand this, the agents are in place. Jones, Rodgers, believe it or not, Rodgers is an agent. I've covered his connection to Aleister Crowley, his satanic rituals that he does in the dark. Okay, these things. Aaron Rodgers, his family separated from him because once he became famous, he joined the occult and his family didn't want any part of it. Right? So that's why he's estranged from his family. So he does the same thing as Alex Jones, right? Oh, Rodgers has been connected to saying things about this. Then he comes out and apologizes and says his thoughts and prayers are with the community. Oh, right. Why is it so anti actually standing up for what you think might be going on? Oh, it's such a bad thing to say. I think that maybe there's something behind this event. Oh, because it hurts the family's feelings. Does it hurt the family's feelings in these true crime cases where people say that the parents killed their kid and then we find out years later that it really wasn't the parents? Are those people who question those parents going on trial? No, they're not. Think about it. Think about all these kids, the Joan Benet Ramseys, right? These stories that have gotten so much press and everybody blamed the parents. Then they're like, oh, there's new evidence to say we found a killer. Every time, right? How many people shame the parents, said the parents need to be arrested? Millions of people. There's trillions of videos on YouTube about it still. Those people aren't getting arrested. Those people aren't getting run through the mud, censored, etc. Why? Why are they allowed to? Oh, because you could only question what we tell you you could question. And this one specifically with the Hook at Sandy, you can't question because it's way too poorly run of a government operation that people will realize that we really did do it. That's what they're telling you. Same with Pizzagate. Same with all of it. I'm done ranting. Please subscribe to my other channel now, Wake Up Call. I recommend you do, and I highly recommend you join the website. This video will be gone in 12 hours regardless. Probably less because it'll probably get a strike because the algorithm will read it, and I don't really care. I'm getting fed up. You guys can either follow me. I'm still marching on here. I'll tell you that much. I'm marching on whether you want to follow or not. Once I get this channel going or these other channels going, I'm only mentioning one of them because I don't need all of them getting knocked out right now. But once I get them going, I'm going. So you can either join me or you can miss out on the content. Wake up call, sub below, website, make sure you join. Thank you. I appreciate you all greatly. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. God bless all of you and your families.